Okay. Uh, if you guys want, we can just quickly recap, or you can just do it yourself because slides are there available. Of course, it's not available. I mean, it's not like enough to learn everything. Uh, Try to read from somewhere else, some different resources before we jump in, or maybe share it. I'll share it afterwards. So let me figure it out. Okay. So this is already class 6, and today we will be learning some JavaScript methods. When you hear methods, it's same like functions, so there is no difference. Okay, some languages or some people only use functions, some people use methods only, and later on you will figure it out. When we say function, it's more like a custom functions. So that's something we create or somebody created. And the purpose of function is to function, of course, and plus it returns something, it does some calculation, some programming, and then it will return you some value. When we talk about methods, it's more like a specific to the language or to the specific data type. So as I said, so we will cover the most used ones. So these are number methods. So as I said, functions, it's something that you create or somebody already created for us. Like it's JavaScript function, it's okay. But methods, it's like the way you can do it is certain types of the JavaScript language. Okay. So that's why, just to clarify, methods could be related to number only or to the string, array, or object methods. So object class, it's something different as well. I just want to touch point here. Uh, Numbers, these are not like a class, but these are uh, basically like overall in JavaScript or in any programming languages, we divide specific topics into the classes. So that's why here object, it's a massive one class and it has a lot of functions, a lot of properties and specific for loops that's only can be used with objects. Arrays also can be different class, but behind the scenes, like behind the scenes we don't see it, but it's all like these are all objects. So right now it does make sense, so I'm not gonna really pay attention there. So let's just focus on number methods, string methods, arrays, and object. So before we go further, let's create our open our replets and prepare a new one. I mean new file. uh, the right way of saying it's usually like environment. Let's create an environment. So name its methods, yeah. So today I want you all also practice at the same time, and we will see some differences. We will identify some new errors. So um, just to like brainstorm a little bit, let's think about what kind of functions or what kind of calculations we do in real life. And if you guys give me like a couple of examples, just to stay engaged here. What are the methods you guys can think of when it comes to numbers in real life? Or most common ones? Maybe you took some classes at university, maybe at school. Any examples?
Examples for what?
For number methods, like in real life, what kind of number calculations we do? What are the examples could be? I'm just referring to like addition, deletion, right? So we have to do some calculation. So exactly those are available as well. And if you think about math or programming, they are still, people come up with these methods and functions because it was already available as a separate science. But I mean, the people who create these languages, they had to convert it to programming methods. So to speak, number methods, most common ones is toString in JavaScript. ToString is used a lot because when we receive data from backend, it's in JSON format, and sometimes it's serialized, sometimes it's not. So depending on the scenario, we want to convert it to string. For example, we could be getting some, and let's see here. So like this, yeah, object. We have an object like this, and inside we have a name, and this is like a John again, and etc. It could be anything. It could be like age again. This is a good example. So, and then when we want to use it somewhere or we have to display it, sometimes we create functions only for strings. And then in that scenario, we have to say uh, like a new variable. And then this will be like, let's say if you want to convert it to string, let's say just result, for example. And then in this case, we will have to do like object dot age to string or to fixed. And then if we do it, it will just convert it, this number into a string like this. So it will be inside a string. So why it's needed, you might ask. It's needed for certain scenarios when we have to convert it to make it easier for us to read, or we just have to display it somewhere. So uh, let me just console log it. And so we don't know why it's okay. Like from the first perspective, you think, okay, it's just the same thing. Why we have to convert it to string? But uh, after this console log, I want to just show you something really quick. You guys following, right? So we
Yeah.
have a function or method called type of. So if I say type of object, of course, it will be an object here, right? So now if I say object at age, what do you guys think what will be? This will be a number, right? It's showing us whatever is obviously it's already there. But uh, sometimes we say like we create a function and we say this function expects only number or only string. And in that case, we will have to do result here, or I can just copy it one more time. So I'm just showing you the example of how we can convert the types of the different data types, okay? Different variables. So here we said it's a number and we were able to confirm it here, right? So in line 9, it's just confirming us, okay, this is number because we are saying object at age. So everything is correct. But before that, we did a conversion here. So it's clear. We said convert object.age to string and then assign it to result. And then we checked what's the type of result. And it's giving us this string because of course we did this already ourselves and that's why it's here. So yeah. So does it make sense, guys? So it's for conversion, okay? So most of the time you will be converting number to string or string to number because there might be some mistakes in the UI. For example, we have an input field and then let's say this is a input field here and then you say for your users like, okay, put your age, right? You say, okay, put your age as 30, but someone can just come and log into your website and they can say, I am like 10 years old or 20, or sometimes uh, instead of passing just like numbers, people put it into the string. Like, of course, if we check for the type, this will be number, these two will be strings. So in that scenario, we have to convert them from string to number, and in other scenarios, from string to number or backwards. Okay. To fix it, maybe you guys already used it. What do you guys think? What's the purpose of to fixed?
I've been using to convert the regular number to the percentage.
Yeah. So this is usually for the purpose of, let's say, you calculating two numbers, yeah, and first number is like this, there is decimal points, and the second number is also has some decimal points, like long numbers, this, and of course we can calculate it. Like in real life, it will be like, okay, I don't know, probably somewhere around like 12 something, or you don't have the specific numbers. And then if you use two fixed, it will convert it. Uh, so when you use this function or method, you have to pass any argument like one or two, and then it will decide depending on the like, okay, let's just calculate this, okay? Let A is this. Uh, of this, and let B equals to this number. And then if we calculate it, or yeah, let's just do this console example. And we can calculate it, or we can just say two fixed. So as you can see in this example. And then when we say two numbers, it will leave only two numbers after the decimal point. So this dot actually is called the decimal point. So if you say two, it will just convert it, and let me just run it. So it removes, it just hides, it doesn't show in the result the rest of the numbers. It shows only two numbers. If I say just one, it will show only the first point. You probably know, like in when you're calculating, this part is, it doesn't really make sense. You just calculate this part. This is more important than this part, right? Because we already know it's 12.3. So this part could be 25 or 75, but it's not like, greater than different numbers that comes before this number. So for the second one, I can do the same, B, and let's say we don't want this zeros at the end. So we can say like 5, and then it will just hide or remove the zeros at the end. Okay?
I have question,
Hmm?
like let's say if we work, it can be, for example, like let's say we work in Verizon, and there can be main numbers there, so
Hmm?
I can write like 100 or 20, then how we can delete to fixed, for example. Let's say there's many numbers, and
Mhm.
they say that, okay, you have to delete the last three one, and I don't know, there's many numbers, so how we will fix that?
So since we today learning like methods and functions, so we can say function or not function, but a variable. Uh, Again, it could be like result, and then you say you do this A or A plus B, uh, or A to fixed. So basically, not this way. I also forgot. So let's say it's a function, not just a variable. Function, and here you pass A and B. And then here, you just say return, or what was it? Return to fixed. So basically we can say return, or let's create a like result here, and then A plus B, and then this result we say to fixed. So whatever the number you pass, you will be just using this calculate. Yeah. So let's say this is like a universal function for us. And then whatever the numbers we pass every time, it needs to, of course, do the addition part, and then it will just return to fix it. And like doesn't matter how big is the number, how many times you pass, you always say I only want to see two numbers after decimal point. And if you just run it, I mean, you probably guessed it, it will do the whatever we are expecting. A and B, and we have the console, yeah. So I'm gonna remove this part because we just console logged it. This part also not needed. Okay, so if I run, so it will show only these numbers. And let's say I'm gonna change, like I'm gonna put more numbers. I don't know if it's like within the limit. And this part, maybe I just do this like this. Let's do 3 something else. And again, it will show us only two numbers because we said to be fixed to 2 decimal points only.
So it doesn't really round, right? It just cuts off the end.
Yeah, it just shows that it just changes the decimal points. So to fixed, it's for only dealing with the decimal points. You will receive some like assessments or coding, right? Lead code coding or something else during the interviews or at work. And then it will say, we don't show like decimal points and we want to convert our results like into like 3 numbers and then 3 decimal points. So most of like the biggest could be like maybe 4 numbers. So we just want to see 4 because when we are calculating or we are dealing with like a big numbers, of course there will be a lot of numbers like zeros. And to to simplify it for users or for people who are not technical, we have to hide it. Like we don't want to really show it, right? Because remember, in the calculator in the real life, when you are dealing with like billions, it doesn't show the numbers. Sometimes it just says like instead of this, uh, it will say like this 1 million, 1K, right? So this is like something similar to this fashion. So instead of showing all the decimal points, like all these numbers, you can say two fixed, and then it will just show 2 decimal points, or let's say 4. So it will just show the specific number. And the way you use it actually is this. So you have to store somewhere and then you convert this result. So you have to apply this to fix function and then it will get applied to your code. So so right now, remember, if you want to remove or if you don't want to show the rest of the numbers, and you will just use to fixed, and it's only used for these purposes. There is nothing more like you can do like, any extra stuff with it. You can just convert it and then remove the decimal points. So the question could be like this: calculate the number and add some other numbers and return the value only 2 decimal points. So whatever the result, like it could be like 500 or whatever, like this, and then 2 decimals could be like this. That's it. So this is the most optimal code for your task, and then you have to return this value only. If you return something little more than like 2 decimal points, your assessment will give you an error like, oh, it didn't pass the test cases. So when you are doing like homeworks or interview questions. So you have to really match it to this point, to this format of numbers, and then it will accept it. Okay. Let's see other functions.
I have a question about the toString method. It's basically turning the number to string, right? Is there any way to convert the string into number?
Yeah. So
Just the number,
just a number like this. Okay, I didn't put JS.
full number.
Yeah, so we have like different methods for that purpose. It's called like parse int or just a number. Let me just. So this one is parse a string argument and it was an integer. So this is one example here. So I wish there was a simpler example. Okay. let's just try to figure it out. So rough scale. So we have a scale that needs to return us like, some point numbers. So we have a x and base. And then we are saying, we are just storing into the variable. We are getting these two numbers and we are saying, these two values or numbers needs to be parsed into a string and accepted as a number. So it could be like a string numbers actually, as you can see here. Sometimes we have this kind of values, right? In the, I don't know, in the math, sometimes we put some numbers like x or f, and it just gets it and it parses it. Parsing is like converting also. So it will just, scan it and then check it and then convert it. So in this case, we are converting it to the number because in this example, as you can see, one of them is number and this one is string. So when we use parse int, it will convert to number. And then here, when we are doing this, we are doing one more check. So in this code, I will just explain. We are checking if when we convert it into number, if something wrong, if it's not a number, and this function is name is none, but it stands for not a number. So sometimes we are not sure, we don't know what to expect. Like users or some values could be any crazy numbers. It could be like hexadecimal, or it could be alphanumerical, like numbers and letters. So in that case, we have to use this is none, and we check it again. Was it just a number? Was it able to convert to number or not? And then we check it. If it's correct, if it's not a number, we just return 0. But if it's I mean, if it's wrong format, we just return 0 here. But if it's correct number, this parsed, then we just multiply it by 100. And then we get this kind of example. So this one was not a number, it was just a string. And then it just returned 0 because this scenario worked here for the second example. Okay, it wasn't able to parse it because it was already a string. There was no any numbers or letters. The just a simple number method. I'm just looking for that. Or maybe I'll just search like this. Checking, yeah. Is none. Yeah, it's still showing the same examples here. So basically, I'll just show it here. I'll remove. Let's just put some line here. So let's say I have a number. Let it be like some numbers, or it could be a string actually. The A is already used. AUC. Then let's make it a string actually. And then if we console log, of course, right now it's gonna say string. Okay, let's get rid of this. So right now it's string, but if we convert it,
The number.
yeah, and then we say like number. So basically we are saying get the number version of this string, like ABC. And if we console log it again, it's wrong result, yeah. Then type of. So now it's converted to number. Okay. So, and or I can put some more message here. Basically, the new type is, I'm gonna say it this way. So, but before, yeah, this part is before. So before string, the new type is number. So if you just pass it, and Sometimes you can just do it without like storing it somewhere. Let me try. So I'm gonna just return like this number and ABC. Let's try. Okay, it didn't work actually. Yeah, it's just giving us number version because it was string at the beginning, but it doesn't say it here in the console, but you can use it in the function without storing it somewhere or like adding more line of code. You can just say whatever the number it's passed from different function or from the users, I want it to have it in the number format. Number and like input value. You can put this way. Yeah. And then that's it. It will convert to a number. Of course, if it's like if there is no like alphanumeric numbers. For that purposes, let me just see if we can really see it. Not sure. If we just convert it, will it work or not? If we pass some string, I mean. Yeah. So all I'm doing here is I'm testing, right? So I'm making some tweaking around, and so before it was just a number, but within the string. It was wrapped with the quotes, but there was no any letters like TS. But since I added and I tried to convert it, it's gonna return us none. And as we learned already, the none, it's like in this. So it's just the error that stands for not a number. Okay. So whenever we have some issue with the numbers, it returns none. Especially it happens when you're converting something and or you're expecting like a really numbers only and you just use it right away and your React or any your application just say none, like reference error or some type of error, it will say none. And then you can guess, okay, where I'm using this input value and am I converting it correct or not? And in that case, if you need only a number version, then you can just use number, especially if you're only expecting this version. I mean, without the letters, but only using the string wrapped. Okay.
But pairs in, it's the same number pairs in.
Oh,
Is this-
percent?
Yeah, pairs in is the same way to return the.
Yeah, let's test that one too. Yeah.
Because I got confused. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah. So let me make sure actually parse int, it's used for only that purpose. Yeah, let's say we have this ABC and instead of number, we're gonna just say, maybe we will store it to a new variable, let's say variable, then, so parse float. Let me just do this kind of number and then, is it gonna work? Parse int just ABC. And if we just console log new, I mean this one. This is what you want to test, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna do so parse int. So maybe it's too much, but when you see only like without decimal point, it's gonna be integer. So this is a integer. Maybe if you know different languages, for example, in Java, we don't say just numbers, we say integer numbers, and it could be up to like certain number. And after that, if you have still more numbers are coming in one single value, it will convert, it will have a different point, like floating number and then different options. So this is just a regular number. You can say it's an integer, but when you have a decimal point, and it will be called already like a floating number because it has the more remaining numbers after the decimal point. But to be short, this is how we convert it. Okay. So you pass it here, or sometimes you can say, just like in the example, I think I lost it somewhere already. Yeah, this one. We already tested it. So sometimes you can say just number and parse it. Let's test it. So what happened here is number.
Yeah, so I think there's difference between the person and just number.
So as I said, integer is for like, regular numbers. I don't know like if there is any different name for it. Maybe it's prime number, or I think that's some regular numbers. So parse int used for that purposes. So let me just see
Okay.
parse int versus parse float in JavaScript. I'm not sure as well. So this was a question. Okay. Radix mode allowing you to convert string to binary. Where is parse float? The difference between parse float is that string must be represented a floating point. So I'm not too sure because I don't really have to use, like, I never use parse float, to be honest. And I'm sure maybe you will use it maybe once or twice in your next 5-10 years. So don't really worry about that. Just remember that you have a parse int and number, so that will convert your numbers. And if your code is getting more complicated before you have to handle it, then you have to first handle it, like, you have to manage it before passing it to some other functions. So I don't know if I can give an example here.
Sure. Can you please check out the type of the variable new v?
Oh, this one? Yeah.
Yeah, the type of
So it's just same file, I mean, number.
number. In my case, it says undefined.
Undefined. You did the same thing, right?
Actually, yes. Okay, never mind. I guess I made some mistake.
So maybe let me see. If I put some one more letter, it's still number.
Oh, I found out the one mistake. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, seems like it will just convert no matter what. And especially we are doing it number and parse int. So it will take only the number part.
I
So,
did number parse int.
so in this case, it's just taking the like a whole point. So this part is whole point, right? Like whole number. This part is already like a decimal point. These are like smaller part of this value, so it's just returning us the whole number as a 12. This part is, it just ignores it. Okay.
Yes, but why it's undefined? Not number.
Can you send your code like in the chat? Let's see it. This part is clear. Yeah, we didn't use this part actually. This is already undefined. Okay, let ABC. Number percent ABC console. The new type is new. And you are getting undefined for this code? Defined. Oh, this one is uppercase, the new here.
Yeah, but
That's the only difference I see
Okay.
here. This is the only difference was. Okay, number, it's used for converting string to number. Okay, just to confirm it. And then also we have this two more. None we already already I explained it. Infinity. I don't know if you remember, sometimes we had to put this infinity sign, right, in the math when we were at school. Same thing. Infinity used, or you guys can guess like where we can use infinity number. I mean this uh, property, number property in the coding or in real life. In real life, it maybe makes sense, but let's try to guess it. Let's stress our brains, like why it might be used in the coding, in programming. Any guess?
Okay, the loop that comes to mind.
Infinity loop? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's different. But this is just for number, like calculations. So I'm not also like, I don't know all the scenarios, but I've seen it multiple times in the coding, in the uh, lead code type of questions. So sometimes you have to just uh, get 2 points for your numbers. So you start either from really like negative infinity. So it's the smallest number. So um, the question comes like this, find the smallest number in the array. It's just a simple example, okay? So, and you have to just loop, and the array could be really, really long. You have to just go through maybe like 500 numbers or even less or more. So, and your smallest number, you create a new variable. I don't know if I can give a really good example. Let's see. Uh, let's say we have an array here, and then it has like all the numbers, okay? Really long numbers. And then we have to find the uh, smallest number from array. Let's say this is our task. And we will create new variable following the smallest. And then we can say array at 0. But we don't know if it will be smallest, because when you are digging deeper to the coding, like more, you have to explain and prove your code. Sometimes 0 is not the smallest number, right? And then you have to go even like to the negative side. What's the smallest number than 0? Because 0 is like a negative number. It's not negative, it's not positive number, it's just neutral, right? And in that case, sometimes instead of saying just array at 0, we say infinity, uh, like this, minus infinity. Oops, like this. So it doesn't really, you cannot really use it somewhere, but for starting point or for some calculations, you put minus infinity as a really the smallest number. And if you want some like a really biggest number, and you can just use infinity. But I've seen like minus infinity like 3-4 times. Yeah, -2, minimum is infinity. Yeah, so as a starting point, you have to give some value, and then uh, in the JavaScript engine or any languages, you have to pass one number as a really like smallest number. So in that case, you can say minus infinity. And this is the example actually Maksad shared. So you just compare the numbers, and then whatever the minimum number, you have to update every time. And at the end, you just return the minimum. So this was the example I was trying to explain. None, it's not a number. So again, I don't know if you have any other examples. Let's someone do this. Who can do this from the class? Any volunteers? Because I cannot only do the coding, you have to do it too. So yesterday, Taut was more active. Who can do today? I mean, before yesterday. Sultan, maybe you?
Yeah, okay. Should share, yeah.
Yeah, share your screen and your replit. The task is create a variable called num with value 4 and another one with decimal point and another with string. Convert them to number to string and reduce it to decimal point of 1. So whatever we did, actually, you can just do the same thing.
Yeah, just
Mhm.
create first variable
It's just num is value 4.
value 4. Let's the second one it's name deck value
4.46731.
4.46731.
731. Mhm.
Create another variable called string.
Your
String. Oh, sorry.
not yet, yeah. So this one should be just 4 in quotes is a string.
Or
Mhm.
just to a number.
So now you have to convert the string to regular number. So without any help, what you can do, how you convert it. Or maybe your classmates can help.
So let's
Mhm.
block string. I think it was parse,
Mhm.
but
You can use
not
that too, yeah.
parse, but it's not showing parse. Int it was, yeah.
Mhm.
Parse int. S3.
Oh, here you are using string 2 times, right? So at the beginning you are using it.
Yeah.
So if
I will
you
remove this one.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Okay. So how do we make sure if it's really number or string?
Maybe can I write here string,
Well, in that case, it will not work.
not a
It's not a
number?
number. Yeah, because percent, it's a, you see, we are learning about number methods. So if you pass anything besides number, it will just say not a number.
Yeah.
Okay, give me 1 second. My battery is running low. 1 second. Okay. So let's say this is done. Yeah, we converted. So this is one way. What's the another way we can convert it?
So log the second one we should convert num to string
Mhm.
4. Okay. For this case we can use
So you say number, big number, with the uppercase. You write down number and then
Number.
you just pass string,
No.
or you just pass 4 and then it will be. Let's try with string. I think it's not gonna work with string.
Like
Instead of num,
instead of num.
put str. Okay, yeah. So since it's just string, it's just a variable name, right? So it still refers to the number in the memory, and since it's in as a number but wrapped with the string quotes, it's just converted it to a regular number. Okay, next one is num to string. So if you pass num instead of string, so but not number. This time we have to convert number to string. So if I have to just do it reversely, like vice versa, I mean, what will be the function?
Which one? The first one, it was to string, not?
Yep, string.
So, work.
What comes first? Yeah. Okay, why it's saying function to string? Yeah.
I forgot.
Perfect. Yes. Right. And reduce number of lengths after point. So let's use to fixed now. So when you read reduce number of length after point in decimal 1 to 1. So we have this variable called dec, right? Decimal. So we have to convert it to have only one number after the decimal point.
Okay, answer the dot to fix
Mhm,
brackets and to
mhm.
Yeah.
Is it correct?
only one.
Only one, yep.
Oh,
Yeah. So perfect.
Sorry. Can I ask a question?
Mhm.
So in that case, that the two fixed is it not the number because the color is white, not like a number. I expect that the yellow
Oh,
is the
this
last one.
in the console, I don't know, like I'm not really sure. We can do the type of, add
Type of
type of to every, like, let's add to the last two. And then maybe to the first one as well. But this decimal is still a number, right? The 4.5, it's a number. And
how can we check it? 4 and 4.
let's
Or
put
this now?
type of, and it will be this number. But
Type,
why it's yellow and 4, I don't know.
type of, where can I put it?
In the console log before the num and dec. Just write type of. Yep. Let's put to all of them.
Okay.
Mhm.
Number strings.
Yeah,
the
let's
last one looks like a string.
to string. Yeah, so string was white, yeah, and to decimal number is also string.
Before the decimal number was a number, not a string. But when we converted to the to fixed, we changed to the string.
Okay,
Yeah,
like,
so that's the question. Why it turned to string? Because they're like a number.
The original was number. Maybe we have to put in the beginning number, a number, and then parentheses and put everything.
So it
That
turns out
to fix.
actually, I'll
Yeah,
share my
here
screen.
number.
Like this one, you mean?
No, in the beginning. Console.log, and then here, yeah.
Yeah, so I just
Number,
checked it. So to this method
and
actually
then
returns a
open new
string.
parentheses, yes, and close the last one.
Like this one, yeah.
No.
No.
Okay, let me just show you something here, okay? So I just checked for this. So sometimes when you are not sure, you can just do this return type, because functions, these methods can convert to different types. So to fixed method returns a string representation of a number without using exponential notation. So now you know. So it will return us a string representation. If you check it here, num is decimal point, but number, right? But when we format it to have a 2 decimal points, and if you check for the type of, it shows string. But if you don't do type of, it should return in a string. But in the replit environment here, I don't think it shows any like strings when you, especially after the conversion. But it was a good point. So to fixed, as you can read here, returns a string representation.
Adjust that number and
What is it?
I just add number in the beginning, like this.
You sharing it somewhere?
Oh, sorry, I sent it. I did it better.
Yeah, so here you're converting, like you are already expecting it as a number. So a string representation of to fixed you want to see as a number. So this is another way to use it also. It's like a method chaining. It's called like method chaining. That is already you have a number and you are getting some value from the to fixed. Then you want to like assign it to decimal number. So you can add even more methods, but yeah, this is one way to do that. So this task is done. We did it. Strings. So we have some string methods as well.
So you said that the last one, it was number and then it turned to a string when we used fixed, right? So it means that it fixed also not only does fix, but it also turn the number to string, right?
Yeah, so as you can read here, it says it returns a string representation. So it knows it's a number. It needs to be a decimal point, right? We understand its number, but to fix, for some reason, I don't know why, but it returns a string representation of number. So this is where we can read it. Yeah, string representation.
Maybe because it's usually used for just showing the result of something, is not like, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
also, by the way, guys, if you don't pass any number here after to fix, it will just treat as 0. Is you if argument is omitted, it's treated as 0. So it will show the same number again. Or it will not show any numbers. It will show the whole number. To fix. Okay. Actually, again, let's move to strings. Okay. So again, to fix, it just returns. So the reason I am showing this, sometimes you have to search for it. You have to see, because some of the functions we understand it, or we get confused when there is a lot of functions we remember. We don't like really remember what's the return type. That's why it's called like return type of any function. And oh, okay, turns out it converts the format of the number or the string. So sometimes we don't know. We can just use it somewhere and it could cause us some issues. So it's a good point to check one more time, sometimes like this, return type of any function. Okay. For example, to fixed, I don't really remember because I used it in one or two like different coding questions, but I didn't really know if it was like a toString, if converted to the string representation. So now you know. Strings. String methods are lengths. You can use it in the string as well and in the array as well, but it's the same thing. Index of, it will show a specific index of, let's say, if you say here like let, or yeah, let's say string is a variable name, right? So let str and equals to string. And if you say str dot index of I, for example, if I pass it, it will show us the number where it's located. So this is just another like a helpful function when you have to search for specific number or specific character, I don't know. And then you use just index of, and it will show. If you say index of 0, or I mean, if index of s, if you pass s, it will return 0. And sometimes you have to search for only the last letter in the word. For example, you want to reach to G, right? And you just use last index of, you don't have to pass anything. It will just return, so we are saying the last G, right? So we don't have to pass G, but it will return as 3, 6. So it will just return 6 here for this G letter. Replace, we will practice them now after this. So replace, it just replaces. So let's say we have again, let str equals to string. We can replace it specific letter. Not sure like how we pass it. So basically replace, you can pass like a whole string value, or you can pass just one letter and it will replace it. So we will see in the action in the next slides or in the practice. As you might already guessed, obviously uppercase, it converts the first letter of the string to uppercase, and sometimes you know, you don't want uppercase and then you just use lowercase, okay? Or there could be a interview question like reverse this word. So the last letter should be uppercase and the beginning should be just lowercase. So if you just reverse it, S comes at the end, but let's say the task was always have the first letter as the uppercase. And if you already like reversed it, G will be the first letter, but since it was lowercase from the beginning, we will just use uppercase. Then it will just make it uppercase. S, you have to do lowercase. So it will just change the places. Concat, anybody knows what concat means?
Mm,
Adding two strings together.
Mm-hmm. What's the actual word? Why it's concat? You know?
Concatenation.
Yeah, exactly. So concatenation is just like adding two strings together. So it will just there is another method called append, but you know it's almost same thing. So concat, it just adds it together. It combines them. Charet, it stands for character add. So let's say you have this word again, and you want to know like let's say we don't know what's the letter at character, I mean at index 3. So we say find out what's the letter or character at 3. We pass number 3 and it will return us, oh, okay, it's actually R or I, so depending on the number you pass. Split, it will split your string, and you can pass a empty quotes without any value there, and it will just split it into every single letter. If you pass some comma, it will split it by the comma. If you pass like a space, it will split your sentence where only the space is available. So let's say this is one sentence, and we just say split this line, right? This line of sentence, and then if we pass, okay, I can actually, maybe I will start practicing them. So split, if you pass empty space, and you give a space a little bit, it will search for empty space like this, and it will split like one element like this, second element like this, and since it's a space here as well, it will take another element separately. So it will split into 3 different values. Slice, you can slice your words. Sometimes you need to cut only the email, but you don't want to get the Gmail part. So in that case, you can just say slice from this letter to this. Actually, you can pass more than one parameter here, and it will, first one will take from, and then second one will be until. So we will see in the action following. So let's create, actually, since it's kind of straightforward, can somebody else do it? And I will just try to explain, give some examples. Jibek, maybe you. Can you do that? Gulnur, how about you?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. I'll stop sharing. Anybody else? You can just, do it yourself and then see if it's the same way is Gulnur or not.
Mm,
So,
So we need to create
mhm,
a variable called sentence, right?
Yep.
Let me just say const.
Yep. So
Const.
remember, if you say const right now, and we will be changing our string, so const will not work. So let's do that.
Okay.
Mhm.
What sentence? It was static, right?
Yeah, it could be any word. Yep. Then get in it.
And do we have to do after?
So next, it says get the index of that word. Let's just pass
Index of.
it off. Yeah.
Let's just pass.
So we're gonna
What
send. So what's your variable? Yeah, sentence that index of console log and sentence that index of.
I think Gulnur needs to make a sentence that has a word say tech.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
is that okay?
Yeah,
That
it's
can
gonna
be
be
Index.
okay. Let's
Should
create one long sentence, like maybe 3 or 4 words. So you can say
Okay.
I'm studying
Should I
Java.
make? Should I make just empty this one
No, you have to add
or
a
not?
couple more
Add a
words.
few more words, yeah. Like for example, say tech is Kyrgyz bootcamp in USA.
Within the string, within the quotes.
Mm-hmm. Even here, right?
Yeah, like you don't have
And
to put
next to.
comma. Just make one sentence. Like let's do this. Like I am studying at SATEC, or anything works.
I'll just put can.
That
Okay.
teach. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make index of.
So
Is it together?
first you say index of.
Mm-hmm.
So you put
Index
sentence
of.
first. Is that the way?
Index.
Also sure here. Yeah, so sentence and index of CTEC. So you remove the dot.
Mhm.
So just to remind you, index of now it's a function. It's like a method. So it will have a parenthesis, index of parenthesis.
Mhm.
Uh,
And static, right?
Here you pass CTEC, yeah.
No sentence, I think.
Oh, like sentences will pass.
Sentence.
No, you put sentence at the beginning of index of.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sentence, we need dot, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Index of static,
And
should I make
here,
it
you
in the,
see, index of it's getting highlighted in the bottom. There is like a highlight.
there's something
O
wrong.
is capital O, index O.
Index of it's already like two different words, index and of. You put uppercase, and let's run it.
Zero.
So let's add one more word before CTEC and see what's gonna change in the sentence in the line 120.
And the line 20, yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
You
And
can say
just put
hello,
whatever.
whatever, yeah. And let's just run it again. So
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah.
what happened? Yeah, well,
No, that
Mine is just -1. I don't know why.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, S is the sixth one, right?
mhm.
It's correct. Or no?
So index of right now it's searching for CTEC word only by the first letter. So in the beginning
Mhm.
it was saying 0 because it was beginning of the sentence. Yeah. Right now
Mhm.
moved from 0 to 6 because hello is 5 letters, 5 indexes, and then we have empty space, and now we found S in the word CTEC. So let me see. You can pass more than one value for sure. So let's search for instead of is. Let's search for is instead of CTEC.
Mhm.
Lowercase, yeah. So 14. So now it's just searching for I. So it will not like exactly match, but it's search for by the first letter. Okay.
Mhm. What
Yeah,
if I put E here?
you
It will
know,
not find.
Oh,
Yeah, let's change it.
try.
Let's see. Yeah, let's try something like, that doesn't exist there. Yeah,
you
right
should-
now it's searching, it found it after say tech. Right now we are searching only for first occurrence of the letter.
Mhm. Yeah.
Aziza, you were saying something?
so you are saying here, I don't understand what you guys are doing here because hello CTEC, because when you do index of, it is trying to find out the whole hello CTEC is a bootcamp's index, right? Because when we put hello,
It's uppercase. So let's search for uppercase. It's gonna say just 2.
Index of uppercase.
No, just put uppercase E.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's search for it.
Good.
It's
1,
more.
0, 1.
So let's put H, lowercase h.
Yeah.
Gülüm, can you please remove and clean it so I get confused?
Sure.
Which number is coming first or second?
Mhm.
So let's put one more H. of somewhere else, but it will still, so basically index of, it will just search for the first occurrence of the in any
Mm,
element. If it
Yeah.
not find it, it will just return -1. So let's say we have one more age. Yeah, actually we have right after say tech, at the end after C we have age.
it's
But
to the
Mhm.
0.
when we run it, it's just searching, I mean it finds only the first one, which is 0 at the beginning. Yeah, index 0.
Mhm.
So first I mean the previous example when we said lowercase e, it was showing us 7 because this is the first lowercase e after S. It doesn't show the second one after T. So index of will search for the first occurrence or first available letter in any sentence, in any string.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Actually, if we pass zero-based return value, so it will compare actually. Okay, what's the next task there? We got it. Replace. Let's use replace now.
Place for CTEC with CTEC.
So yours is
Um,
already uppercase. We can do it lowercase.
Should
So
I
you don't
put
have to. You can remove
here?
the index off right now. Yeah, let's remove index off and just say replace. Let's see replace how it works.
In the replace, with the parentheses, you first have to put the word you want to change. For example, hello. And then comma. No, it's supposed to be exactly the same as this was before. Like with, yeah, like here, for example.
Okay.
Comma.
Let me see.
And
So
again, open new strings and just put hi.
new value.
Okay. Let me just do this.
Yeah, he changed hello to hi.
So with the replace, actually with all of the string methods, actually you can pass one argument or two parameters, like more than one parameters. So in the replace, we are saying this is the existing value, and when we say comma, it already understands, okay, this is already there. What's the new value? So if you, Gulnur, if you search replace and JavaScript in the Google, so it will give you the documentation right away. Yeah, you can open
Oh,
that.
sorry.
It's okay, you can.
Open this. Okay.
Yeah. And if you scroll down a little bit, probably yeah, see, method search for a string for a value or regular expression, new string with the value replaced. It doesn't change the original string, so it will just replace for different purposes. So you have to store it into the new variable. If you don't store it, if you just replace it and you don't store it and you are expecting a different result, it will not get the result you are expected. So you have to store it somewhere. Like example could be like new variable. I wanted to show
For
like,
example, here, right?
yeah.
Sorry.
Let's say like
No.
your new sentence is instead of hello, you want to say hi, say tech bootcamp, right?
Okay, so new variable equals to high CTEC here, for example.
So you have to put sentence, replace, and then it will get the updated value. So before new value, let's put let, because right now it's gonna say undefined as well. Yeah. So now we declared it and we have to give a value. So here we say sentence dot replace. So we are saying get the copy of the sentence. replace, but replace the word hello with hi,
It
or
will
whatever
be
in the
still.
console log. Yeah,
Mhm.
yep. You can just copy paste it. And if
Mhm.
you just console log new value, it will have a hi Cytek is a bootcamp.
Okay.
So if you want to fix the space between hi and Cytek, you just add some space after hi here. Within the
Okay,
quotes,
it's like
inside the quotes. The quotes of hi. Yeah.
you mean just like here, like
Yeah.
this?
And yeah. So it's like quicker way to fix it will be just adding space there.
Okay.
Or another way would be, you see, in the first uppercase hello, right? You removing this additional space. So it considers as a value, even if it's empty space. So that's why it was already leaving without any space. Yeah,
Okay,
perfect.
got it.
So next thing is adding a word. So if you want to add a word, we said you can use concat. So let's just add one more after the replace. So just put comma, I mean dot. Not there, after the parentheses actually, outside. Yep, put dot
Yeah.
and concat.
Okay.
You have a dot, yeah.
Right.
And let's add one more word, like any word.
The end.
Let's say
What did you say?
The end. As per
See?
time.
Okay,
yeah.
that's it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, let's just run it.
Space.
So I
So
will just put it here.
now you kind of understand, right? So all the spaces, it considers as a value. So if you don't add a space, it will not add. If you add it, it will just add it. Next thing was adding, we did it, slice out last word end from your sentence. So let's use slice now. So in the new variable maybe, or yeah, let's create a new variable and name it slice.
That's equal to
So now last word end from your sentence.
so I will make sentence, right? Dot slice.
Yep.
And for example, end, something like this.
Now let's console log slides, or because we still referring to the old variable name new value, but I mean that part is okay, that part is correct. If you run it, it will be the same because the console log is line 121, but our changes are happening in line 22. So let's console log slice if you want to get the specific word.
Okay.
Console log slice.
No, you wrote wrong.
There is a typo, not wrong, yeah?
Yeah.
So if we console log right now, it will take from bootcamp. Okay.
Can we put the position for the slice?
I wanna get there slowly. So when we are slicing it, we have to say start from this position to this position. So in the example in the slide, it was saying end of the word, right? So you don't have to really copy the end, but let's select the position. So remove bootcamp from slides.
Mhm.
So the last word is bootcamp in our sentence, and we add end. So let me see, slice out the last word. So how do we get to the last word before slicing it?
The end.
We're gonna just pass the word, right? So slice
Mhm.
is array, but
But the
in the
section already removed.
what is it?
I mean, like when he pushed the console.log slice
Mm-hmm.
on the line 123, and if you see the console, it's already removed and before already removed. How it happened?
Mm-hmm.
Can you please Gulnar, delete the second console in 126?
Oh, I have no consider. Okay.
Yeah, can you delete this one? And yes, and even like even if you put bootcamp instead of the end's gonna be disappeared. If you even like if you put the bootcamp instead of the end. On the
Mm.
122, yeah, here, even if you can put bootcamp, for example, and run again,
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Mhm.
yeah, it's the result the same. So it
Ah.
means it doesn't matter what to put here or what.
How I know the slice is only you can pull it. A slice means that the you only can do it in the end, right? You cannot, for example, slice middle of the sentence. That's why we have visual, right?
So right now we have to use split method because our sentence is it has many words, and we have to split it and then use slice method with the array.
Yeah.
So let me take over from here. If you can just send this code to
Mhm.
me.
First, you have to just push them inside the array and then split them for two.
You don't have to push it. I will show it 1 second. You can just send it to me or in the chat.
I will just stop the recording here.
Sharing, yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Quick question, what are we trying to do?
Gulnur,
Sometime.
can you send me the code? Oh, okay, I see.
Mhm.
So I will share in the code 1 second. So so far we have this part, yeah? This and I'm gonna just say like this, or just put it as it is right now. We replace it hello with hi. Okay, this part is correct. And here we are saying new slice. Okay, this is like a function slice set. Let's make it slice set, yeah? So, and then when we console log it, slice, what's wrong here?
You
It's
change
because
white
hello.
Oh, slice set, yeah? Correct? Yeah. So,
Kushtar, why we put the
bootcamp.
the string in a slice method?
So this was
Can
wrong.
we put a string in a slice method?
No, we don't have to do it. So before slicing it, I'm gonna show the split method. Okay, let me just remove this here, and then let's create split it. Okay, and then we have this new value and split. So if I say like this and console log it, I'm gonna show one by one. Okay, it's really interesting method actually, and you can do it from your end as well. So if we don't give a space here, you see, it will take every single letter. Okay, it converts like a return type. Return type is array. Okay, it creates an array with splitted words, with split letters, as you can see here. All right.
Mhm.
So if I give a space here, okay, not yeah. So I'm gonna remove this part so it's clear. So it will take by empty spaces. These are the empty spaces. One value, one empty space, another empty space, and another one. Okay? So it's already how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if I give one more space here, it will also take that. Did it? Or it didn't? Okay, that was the wrong place actually. So now we have split it by the empty spaces because we have empty space, right? These are the spaces. Let's say we had this like specific character in the sentence, like these are the numbers, okay? Like these are the value. And then if we say split it by this, what is it, hash sign, yeah? It will take by that hash sign only. You see the difference?
Mm.
So we are saying split it specifically by this value. So let's say instead of hash sign, we had only one value, like star here in the middle. And if you just pass one star, it will split into two only. Okay, you can play with it. You can pass any value, you can put any comma, but usually these kind of arrays come as a comma splitted words. Let's see, take like this. I'm gonna just put it really quick. This is, or I'm gonna just change it. I was really complicating this part. So let's say we have commas after every word here, like this. And if I put comma here, it will split by commas. The good part is it doesn't take the commas as well. It just creates your array with single values. It was a string, right? So we didn't say convert this string sentence into array. We just said split it, and it did it for us. It's really interesting. Is it clear? Make sense? Yeah. So it's really powerful when you are solving some issues, you are trying to convert something. Sometimes you have just like a really long word. I don't know, like let's say like this is one word. So you want to split it, and then you can just say without anything, and it will just split like every single letter one by one because it was long. Now you have one by one, and then we sort it, split it into the split it, and let me just see the result again. This one. I want to remove this commas now. Please bear with me right now. So we removed it. So we have every single word. Why there is empty space? Okay, we have empty space here. You see, here it create one value with empty space because we are saying every single empty space. So I removed one space here. Now it will just remove this part. Okay. You see? Now let's use the slice. So what I wanted to show is here, returns a shallow copy, and then here, it just, when you pass one value, like a 2, it will take as a starting point. Just like we talked last class, it has a starting point and ending point. So if you see this example, animals, and there is 5 elements, right? And in this console log, we are saying 2. So if you see here, first parameter we pass, it's a starting point. Second will be the ending point. So here we are saying starting from 2, like the rest I don't care, right? So
Before you mean
expected,
that?
yeah. So
Like
let's say,
zero, we are ignoring 0 and 1 and including everything after 2.
so if I run, so it's just saying from the starting point is
Index
2, but take the rest.
Here is 2, it means index, as I
Yeah,
understand. It's
the
like
element in
index.
the array. It's an element in the array.
So 2 means a camel, right? Bison is 1 and 0.
Like this.
If you,
Let me put, so this is 0,
yeah,
this is 1.
okay.
So we are saying starting from 2. This is
Mhm.
2, right? And the rest is 3 or 4. Since array is like a 0 indexed, we are saying take from 2. It's the starting point. And
Can
here,
we do it vice versa from the end?
from end,
From end to start. For example, in our example, we have to delete the last word and the last index. And then instead of counting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe we can start from the. Oh, you actually can do the dot length minus. Oh no, it's not gonna work.
you just have to show the one before. So you can separately, you can check the like length, or you can get the count of the array.
For
And then,
example,
Mhm.
in our example, we need to delete the last word, and
Mhm.
so and in order to delete the end, I have to count the everything before and put it that number. For example, in our case, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 indexes. It means like 6 indexes, and I have to put 5
So
to
I'm
cut
gonna
off the
do
last
like
one.
a length. Let's see. So it's 5. It's showing us there is 5 elements, right?
Yeah.
And if I want to get the last element, I'm gonna just say 4 once I know the length. But if you don't know how many elements will be there, let's say length minus 1. If you pass it, that will be starting point. Yeah, I think we can just do it like this.
Yeah, this is what I want to say.
Yeah, so it's just pick it
Uh-huh.
up the last element. That's it. Okay. Length is really helpful in any scenario. Like you don't know, you just run. And length minus 1. If it doesn't make sense for some of you, it's just like, so if I say, okay, not here. So when we say console log, it gives us how many elements in the array. But when we say minus 1, it just does the minus from 5, and it will take the first element. So if we take 1 from 5, it will be 4, and it just refers to the last element starting from here, and it will take the last element. Okay. And then ending point. Let me just put the code here. 1 second. So when we pass 2 elements, let me remove this part. Maybe we don't read, or you can just see this second part. Okay. So when we say from 2 to 4, we are saying starting from camel till duck. So this is what it means, okay? Is it clear? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So don't get confused, because we are saying starting point and ending point. We could, if you don't pass it, it's gonna take everything, just in the first example, okay?
Yeah, but
So
then the question, as you said, that it can be many. So now we can count, we can see with our eyes that there's just 5 items, right, in the string.
yeah,
But if you're gonna work, when we come the real work, it's gonna be a lot, you know, so
Yeah.
you can see that. And how I will see that, I cannot sit with 2, 3, 4, right? So
Mhm.
then it has to be a for loop, right? Or something.
Yeah.
Otherwise we cannot, you know.
So in that case, you're gonna say for loop, the whatever you pass inside, and then here you're gonna say if one of the animals uh, at not like animals that I equals to, I don't know, bison, you wanna say like remove it or replace it.
Mhm.
So it will be animals that replace, and you pass the first value, like, okay, I don't know, cow. Yeah. I mean, the second one. Here, you're gonna say, since we found bison, you're gonna say, take the bison and replace it with cow. And then it will replace it.
Mm.
It will be just like let I animal lengths, and I++. And it will just search for it. You can do this and it will find specific one, and then you can just replace it. So if you come back to the task, slice out the last word and from your sentence. So I'm not still getting it, and we split it already. Last word is what? End. So we want to slice it. Let me do split, slice, beginning from what? Split it. Okay, it's an array now, so it will be index of like this. Sentence dot length -1. This is the last element, yeah? Slice from 1. Let's do 3, but it's already 3 letters. Let's see if it's gonna work.
No, because it's not the array.
Slice. No, it's an array. Split it is array now.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it's
Here,
automatic.
this is the return value, yeah?
Are you trying to remove the last word?
I want to slice it, the last word.
I think you can do it even before turning it into array. You can just use it like sentence.slice and then pass the word, pass the last word.
Yeah. So we have split it, slice it, we don't have yet. So sentence that slice. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if it's from 0 to 5, not from 5 to just 5, yeah? And if I just console log it, let's see. It didn't work as we expected.
Can you check mine? I sent to you.
Okay, one second. Where is it? Okay, let's slice, split it, slice. Split the length -1. Did it work for you?
It's just separately showed the end. This is what we want, right?
Yeah. So I
Can you
was
try?
doing it. So
But in your Maksat, when you do that, then only the word that you slice can show, right? Just for example,
one word.
that's one, right?
Yeah.
This is what we want, right?
Yeah. This is what we want
Yeah.
actually.
But no, our sentence should be just hold the sentence, but only the end should be gone. I think purpose is a little bit different.
Yeah, this part is not clear for me why it says end. I don't know. I'm just want to take the last word from here.
And just
Yeah.
just slice it from the 0 to the you know
Yeah.
what from 0 to the I don't know what the index of the last
So
from 0 to the high the last word.
no,
So
we
it
want to get the last word only.
you
We need
guys
our last word.
you want
You-
you guys
Or I can do
only
this.
yeah, like you guys want to slice only like last.
I thought we just need to show the last word. We don't need the whole the sentence, only the last word we can.
So it doesn't really matter,
Yes.
right? So the
Okay.
purpose is just to practice it. So you can
But
you
actually,
don't want to argue here.
Kushtar, actually,
Now it's confused because when you slice it, like it's showing what you slice it, not like
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
not
this is
this
what, yeah,
moment
Yeah.
confused.
so yes, when you slice this it means that you have to slice the last sentence. So last sentence is the end, right?
Yeah, the end.
Yeah, so you have to pull out the end, but it's actually correct. Hello,
Actually, it doesn't matter.
that is
Let's
correct.
go further.
So it doesn't really matter. Like here we are saying the end, but in the before, let's just figure it out, okay? I just wanna So we have this, and where we doing console log for new value. Sorry, guys.
By the way, it's incorrect because you lost the
Yeah,
set supposed to be included.
yes, hello, Satek is correct now. And when you do like you did it correct actually, and then it will be hello, Satek is a bootcamp because you already deleted the end with slice.
You don't need to delete the end, only end.
I mean,
That's supposed to be stay here. Just change to 6.
Like this to 6,
6, yeah.
0 to 6, or just 6? You guys.
0 to 0, 0 to 6. 0 to 6.
Okay.
0 to 6.
Split it. What's wrong? Split it is here. Yeah.
Because I wanna keep the yeah. No, it's good.
So end is gone now.
Yeah.
So this is one way. Another way,
Yeah.
we can just take the specific end only, the word, and you can play with it. You can just remove it. So when we say 0 to 6, it's clear, right? You guys understand it.
Yes.
So we are
Yes.
saying from the beginning till the 6th element. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But when you are counting without 0, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? It's a bit confusing here because 0 index set and this, but playing with it, you will figure it out. So last part was what? Finally store your sentence, each word into one array. So let's come up with an idea. I'm not gonna say how we can store it into array. Who can tell me?
push.
That's one way. What else do you guys remember? It's giving me some hints here.
Can you put for the line 35? Line 35 in the parentheses? Yeah, here inside of just comma. New split comma.
Like this?
Just no, just comma, comma.
Or like
Just
this?
comma. Yeah, all one comma, yes.
Okay.
And can you please console this part?
Hmm.
Only split it.
Okay.
This is what you want, right?
What is it? Doing what?
This is what you want? Well, shift into one array.
Yeah, you can do this way as well. So, but I want to show one more function here. So let's say it was just empty space, and this every single word is separate, right? So there is one more, let's say whole sentence. Yeah. So we can say split it. So, there is different ways to do it. So split it, that join, it's also available. And also we have to pass how we want to pass them, like how we want to join them. So this is a joining parameter. So if you say empty space, it will just, it will take as a one whole, like one word. Oh, we didn't console log it. So I don't really like this part with the replit. Every time you have to console log whole sentence.
You can actually remove the AI.
Okay, I put wrong here, sentence. You said I?
AI, I mean artificial intelligence, because when you it comes
Okay, I don't know that part yet. So, okay, let's remove this part. Let's make it clear. So if you like, maybe you forget, maybe you do the typo, right? You are like, running out of time. And for some reason, if you do this, it will take the whole thing as a one word. But if you do this, it will take as a, I believe it's a type of this is array type of string, just a string. Join, and also we can push it. So it didn't do the array yet, but now we know if there was only this kind of example, let's say we don't have this part yet. We have only this kind of words, like random words. And if you want to join them, we can using join and we can push it to array. Or we can create a new array and then just pass the value. So creating a new array, there is multiple ways for that as well.
If we have a array and we use the join function, it's gonna convert it to just a string, the whole array.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the array, I think we can do push with the array. Do you wanna try the push here? So whole sentence. Yeah, we have a split it there. So less than split it length. So this is one way. Or you can map it as well. And whole sentence, let's say join is not there yet. You can create one array like this. And you can say whole sentence that push every single word. So it will be just split it by. And if you console log whole sentence.
Yeah,
Oh,
because first the whole sentence was array, and then
Mhm.
after they split it also array actually.
mhm.
So you are pushing the array, the inside array.
So we wanted to have what? Store your sentence, each word into one array. So we want just one array and all these words inside. So split was one way to do that. I think we did beforehand, before even we reach here, we already used split. So my guess is we're supposed to use split here. Okay. Another one is map. Map is also like map. C map. This is also handy for numbers.
Map is kind of for loop, right?
Yeah, kind of for loop.
Yeah.
I just forgot whenever like think of different functions. Or we can just end it here. Okay. What is next? Arrays. Array methods. Yeah, now it's already 7 here. Let's really pick some of these and see in action. So is array, you can just check it. Let's say we have a split it already, yeah? So whole sentence we didn't, we split it, it was already array. We converted into the array. So I can say split it is array. So is array is for checking purposes only, like you just check. And it's gonna say, or what is it? Is array, maybe we pass inside here. But this part should be, I don't think it's gonna work this way.
And what's supposed to be to do? Is array.
So I think like array, let's check. Yeah. So array is already like, here, right? So we are coming to the array class. Array is like, it has a whole bunch of different objects, different functions. So is array, you can check this way. So you want to make sure, let's say you did all kind of conversions, you did some changes, you did split, convert, join, and then you are expecting only array at the end of your code, and then you can say like you can put if else statement like this, and then check for it, and then like return. So basically, instead of if, you check for the type of array. You want to make sure if it's array or not. In the different scenarios, we were checking just if array has this value or the other value. But when you say array that is array and you pass the new like a variable that's coming from somewhere else, that's the result of some other work. And then if you check, it's gonna say true or false. Let's say if I put sentence here, it's gonna just give us false. Okay.
Sorry, the array you put in the beginning array. Yeah. So what is that like?
So we basically saying that I'm expecting array and I want to check this sentence if it's array. So array is
Can you
just
put
like,
here, for example, string
no, it's not gonna work.
and sentence is supposed to be true? No.
No, it's not gonna work because array has array function, but for string, I don't know if there is string.
String.
I don't think there is a string actually. Yeah, it's just check
If
for
we
the
check
value.
everything like that, it's gonna be much easier for us.
No.
Number is number.
So
But
is array
number, it exists actually. Number, we were checking like number and parse int, right? We were checking for number. But for array, just remember,
Oh, I got you now. It's like a number.
yeah, it's like a number, and then you pass some function of the number. Here we are checking for array from array, and here it split it, and it was true or false. Length, you know, join is also, I showed it like a slice. You have a empty quotes, it will just combine everything into one. You give some space, it will take by empty spaces. Pop is for removing, it will just remove from the end. So push will add it to the end. So when I say, let's see in the action, yeah. So let array, and I'm gonna say like 1, 2, 3. That's enough. Then we say array that push 4, and if I console log array, we don't have any. So let me. So it just adds the end. So it doesn't matter. Like in your case, it could be again 1. It will just still add to the end. The order doesn't matter. It will just add, like regardless of the number you pass, it will add to the end. Like these are like first come and first serve. Okay. And if you want to, let's say 1 is not needed anymore, we can say pop, and it will just take that removed value. So if it was 9, some other number, it will just take that number. Okay. And if I do one more time, just array, so it's removed. So in our case, maybe if you want to store somewhere, let's say these numbers are always the same, and we want to store this number somewhere. In that case, we have to create a variable and store there. And then you can just do this. It will always take the last letter from the array. Next thing is like shift and unshift. So it's just the opposite of these functions. So we added to the end. Now I'm gonna say shift is to the end. It's adding to the front, so it adds to the front actually. So let's say I want to add like 100, and if I console log now, what happened? It's popping, still popping, or what?
You need to do console.
I'm doing it here.
Oh yeah.
So let's shift, unshift. Oh, shift just removed actually. So if you don't pass anything, it will just remove. I'm supposed to do unshift if I want to add something. So if I do this, it added now. And if I want to remove it, I have to just say shift. So let's say 100 is not needed anymore. And if I do this, it will have the original array. Okay? Shift, unshift, it's for the beginning. Push and pop to the end. Next,
Why you put the 100 in the shift?
I removed it. This one is removing from the beginning.
Yeah,
Remove.
but if it's empty, it's not gonna remove the last one anyway.
So if I just do this,
Yeah, it's not gonna work like that.
yeah, it doesn't work, see? So even without, so unshift, I added to the beginning, yeah? So I have 100. But if I don't pass anything, just empty shift, did it remove?
Yeah,
It
But
still
just
works.
because anyway, it's gonna take the first one.
first
But
one.
if
Yeah.
you put the
Just
100,
like I did here, I didn't pass anything. Yeah, I missed that part. So for the pop, you don't have to specify because it already knows which one you're removing. Pop is the last one, and the shift it removes from the beginning. Okay, good catch. Splice, it's a bit complicated. I am not that sure with splice. It's because I mix it up with slice.
gonna put in
Easiest one.
between. Sorry.
Splice is kind of like you.
Replace. Yeah.
It's gonna you can put some more content in the middle of array, like you can choose the position.
So let's just go through this example here. So const months has January, March, April, June. So there is some random months. Then when we say splice, we are saying, okay, beginning point is 1. So it means not January, not the 0 one, but here, 0 after 0, it's 1 here. And then 0 means, what was it, 0?
Zero delete. You also, if you put 1, you're gonna delete like 1.
Oh yeah, so this one is where, how many elements you want to remove, or which one with which you want to replace. Yeah, so this is the way it works. So if you say 0, it's not gonna remove anything. It's gonna just add you one more value. But if you say, let's remove, let's see this in action. So January, March, it removed March because we said 1 here. But if you put it as originally, so it didn't remove anything. So second argument or parameter is for removing. This one is where, remove, and what, like what to replace with. Okay.
I think we need just a real example a little bit because
Yeah, okay. Let's just do the same example here, or so instead of this, this part is clear, right? Or you want me to replace it with something else? So let's say we have January, and let's say we are missing February, right? So we could say just like this, months splice 1. So we are saying position, or I can put it here so we can have in your memory. So where, okay? But it's getting low. Yeah, you see it's already showing like how many and what to add. So 0 is how many you want to add or remove.
but
Remove.
one
1
is
is the position for sure.
position because the February
Yeah.
when
The
index is
second
1, right?
Oh, okay. It looks like start delete count item.
Like how many like item you want delete, like from that
Yeah.
position to the
Here it says 0 based index at which to start changing the array. So it looks at where to start changing. So we are saying beginning from 1 not 0. So we are saying beginning from here, delete count. So how many you want to delete? It's asking us, right? And we are saying don't delete anything, but add February here.
After
So delete count, the second. So how you read this documentation, right? So you come here and you see the syntax. If you pass only one number, it will understand as, okay, starting from there, and the rest it will just do like replace, or it will just change from there. If you pass 2 parameters, like starting and deleting count, it will delete from beginning till, I think it will just delete everything. But if you pass one more parameter, it will replace with those. So this is where it deletes, and this is what it adds actually. So let's test it. In this example, let's remove this. What is it example here? Just starting point. Let's put just starting point, what happens. Okay. Splice and months. Yeah, just logging it. Okay, it's just returns us the single value. So it just copies. It's like slices. You see, if you pass just one argument, one parameter as 1, it will just take one value here. So we are saying from beginning, from the first element.
I
And
saw 0. Like
if I
index.
put 0,
No, it's, just I'm really confused. Like January, actually array inside the array and index should be 0, and March, when you write the March, it should you should put 1. But you put in 2. It's a little confused. Do they, because in the array index starts from 0, right?
right?
Yeah. So when you put 2, actually it shows like if you put 1, it shows
April.
January, but actually it should be.
If it's 2, it's supposed to be April, not March. Yeah,
So
try yes, months twice 2.
yeah, so it will be like this, 2 and 3. But the length will be 4.
Yeah.
This is the confusing part, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So if you say 1, it's saying, okay, not from 0, but beginning from 1.
Okay.
And we are saying, don't remove anything. But if you say, remove one of the elements, it's going to remove March.
Okay.
So let me just test it, okay, like this. So 2, okay, we need this one. You see it? So beginning from 1, and it's asking, after the comma, it's asking how many you want me to remove, and we are saying just 1. If you say 2, it will remove April as well.
Okay, I understand.
So if you look at it one by one, it kind of makes sense. So, and if you want to remove 2 and say like this, a new February, or I don't know, new March, let's say new March, yeah. So, and one more, new April, or new April, like this.
Well, it's gonna just, after that, it's just gonna add, right?
It will just replace these places because it removed the 2 elements from the original one. We removed it and we replaced with new ones. See, new March, my new April. But the beginning and the end we didn't touch.
Okay.
What is merch?
Match?
Merch. The old
Didn't
one,
get it.
the old merch. What is old merch? We actually removed 2, right?
These 2.
After 1, okay.
We are saying until 2. Remove from 1 until 2.
Okay,
So
okay.
let's say we have one more here, July. July. And let's say August as well, yeah? So if you put until 3, it will remove until June.
Yes.
June is gone, now only July is there. So basically we are saying from where to start and where to stop.
How many?
and what to update it with, what to replace it with.
Understand.
Yeah, splice is a bit confusing. Even myself, like I have to always come here and understand this part. So just real example, in the interview, sometimes the task comes like this. Find, let's say, find April and March and replace it with new months names. And you want to use just splice because you know it's really handy, right? You can use right away here. But at the end of the code, it's gonna say, do not use built-in functions or methods. It will say, do not use built-in methods. So you cannot use splice and you have to do it yourself. So do it yourself, I mean, you have to first loop it and find the indexes. And then those indexes, like let's say it's at array 3. So you're gonna pass new value like this, new April. And if there is just one, it's good. But if there is two or three, you have to do them one by one, or you have to do it inside the for loop right after you found them like this. If array dot I any number, right? And if it goes to April, we say like this, like array dot I, or we can say just like this, delete. Delete. This is the function we were learning last class, right? And then we just add new values, like right away here. But you have to be careful because if you do it inside the for loop, it will keep adding again and again. You have to handle that part as well. But you got the idea. So that was
Sorry,
Mhm.
sorry, I'm confused.
Okay. Which part?
So yeah, when we were doing this splice, so when we put, like, for example, a month dot splice is 1 to 0, it's not deleting anything, right?
Yeah, we are saying we are giving a starting point, but we are not saying until what point to remove. We are saying start there, but don't do anything else. Like like 0 is like
So it's
until
not index.
we're not specifying until which point to go. We are saying just don't go, if that makes sense. So let's change the numbers here. So we have January, March, April, June, July, August, and instead of 1, let's do 3, yeah? And then we want to say 1. So let's see the result now. So we said start from 3, right? So this is 3. And we removed 1. We removed only June. And we put 2 new values. These are new values. Or we can say like new value 1, new value 2. So if I run it again, 3. So we are saying 1, 2, 3. It was already there in the original one. See, 3 already there. And we are saying starting from this point, please remove 1. So we are saying starting from 3, go to the next one item only. And that is June. This is the June. And replace it with new value 1 and 2. And this is replaced. And July, August is in the still same place.
I thought that you can just put, like, since you just gave 1, because it is 3 is actually June, and when you replace with the new value, you are saying just you have to replace just one value, but if you put in 2, it's gonna be 2.
It's remember I was showing here. So if you get confused,
Delete count.
how many to delete? It's asking how many to delete.
You just been saying from where to there. That's why they're confused. You don't have.
I confused. Yeah. So I supposed to say delete count as it's in the document. So if we come back here, we are saying okay. Start where to start. Delete count. how many you want to delete, yeah? And if you put 0, it's not gonna delete it. It's just gonna add one more. I mean, one new value. So it's not where until where, because in another function in slice, I believe, you have this option until where. That's why I said I'm getting confused. You see, start and end. But sorry, we were talking about splice again. So turns out this is the starting point, delete count, and the new values. When I say new values, it was just
delete count can be like 3, 4, it doesn't matter, right? So how many you want?
any number. You can pass any number. And item 1, item 2, it's just and as you can see, this means any number, new values, any new count of numbers. So it's not
Kushtar,
limited.
so
Mhm.
sorry. So instead of 1, if the delete count, if we change it to 2, it will delete 2 counts, right? 2
Yeah.
items.
So if we, don't stick to this number only. Try to with let's try with different 2 numbers. So let's figure out before I run what will be the change.
June.
So it will take June and July, and instead of that, it will be just new values there, yeah? So yeah, June, July is gone. Only August is left, but it's replaced with new values.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Thank you.
Yeah, a bit confusing. I have to admit.
A lot of question, and I think we need to practice for 3 days what we have learned.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot of it's a lot of information, and we get it's very difficult it's very hard to remember everything in just 2 days.
Yeah.
It comes all the time new subject, and we don't know where to use it, because it's too much information. Our brain cannot absorb it.
Yep.
Confused with the splice, try the map.
So it's not like a solution to one another. But most common one is map, for loop, replace, split. You will use split a lot. Okay. Concat, you already know. I will just come here and see if I can go through some examples. Concat here.
I guess even we don't need to remember everything. We can just
Yeah.
open this chain and always use like a cheat sheet.
Yeah. So even myself, I always search for it, and I think, okay, I'll probably remember it. But if you don't use it for the next 2-3 months, of course you will forget it. So concat, how it works? It's a array method again. Let's say ABC and DEF, and if you say array1 that concat array2, it will be just combination of 2.
Yeah, but the join is the same. But join it was a string from, right? It was string.
No, it's
Join. We also have the join. Join is the same.
okay.
Actually, joining, you see, it's changed to the string and without any spaces.
Yeah, yeah, but it was string. It was with that array and string is kind of we should not confuse. And string, the actually join was that we use from as the string. All right.
Yeah, it's so
String.
returns array as a string.
Yeah. Can you please go back to the MDN?
Yeah.
And you see, this was for actually in the beginning it was array, and when we use the join, you can see the expected output, the gray color, yes. And you see, this is gonna change from array to string, and without any spaces. It's a difference. But when we use the concatenate, it puts everything. It still stays as array, and make it with spaces.
Yeah, concate I have used in array, so I am not confusing. But the other one, the string methods.
Okay, I'm gonna put here. So
Expected output. Look at the expected output. It's still array, and with spaces between them. Here, no, not array string. Yes, and no in spaces.
So all of them are string if you use join. Like at the end, it will be just join, I mean string. But here, concat, it was only array at the end anyway. It still stayed as array.
But join kind of like it joined without any string, right?
So here it didn't pass any value how to join them. So it just combined all of them.
Okay.
Here, if it's saying like
Deleting the commas.
so it's just empty string. Empty string like removes the commas and it just makes one single word. So if there is a task to combine two different words into one, you can just say join without any values, empty string. If you say join by hyphen, it will add between the words. Okay.
This website is actually good.
Yeah,
You don't
like
need to remember
this is
everything
the actual
open.
documentation for JavaScript, but don't get limited to this as well because you don't want to read this part, yeah? This is like confusing a little bit. So I will share some links at the end. So concat, we got it. Slice, I showed a little bit earlier. See, slice and splice, pretty similar. So slice, if we come to the syntax, we have to show the starting point and ending point, where to start and where to end. That's why I confused you earlier. So
But it's used in slice used in string method, but splice is used in array method, right?
You can use both.
both,
As well.
see, these are all array methods right now. Splice is here, slice is here with the array.
In array is gonna just delete whole item, not just like the single sign.
Okay.
Am I right?
But because when you gave them Kushtar example, there you didn't write any array. You just wrote like cons. You initialize. Yes.
The slice,
We
Yeah.
actually changed to the.
we
We
split it.
actually converted.
It was
right?
array when we split.
Yes.
You see here,
We
return
first
type is
converted
array.
the array.
No, I mean the word. I'm not talking about this. If you go a little bit up, yeah, like hello bootcamp. So you also okay.
Replace. Maybe it was replace.
Okay, then after you split and
Yeah, split converts to array, that's for sure.
okay. So you don't have to actually write this.
Yeah. So when you're taking notes, like try to add something like this. I mean, maybe you will forget it, but you will have somewhere in your memory that, oh, okay, it's actually array. So let's see slice. Array is in animals. We already did it, right? We don't have to go again. So if you pass on the starting point, it will take from from camel, like from bison actually, right? From bison to everything. So not including this. If you say from 2 to 4, it will take this 0, 1, 2, 3 until 4. It didn't reach to the 4 yet. Am I right?
But Kushtar, you cannot use slice if you don't use split, right?
No, it's not always like that. As long as it's array, you can use slice. I just use split because it was string. And I showed you one more function as a split here.
To convert it to array.
To array, yep.
We convert a string. We convert a string to array and then use slice.
Yeah, that I understood.
So if you see here, this is a still string, right? We are using concat. Concat we used for array as well. If you use two arrays, it will still concat. But if you use with string, this is the example, it will still use as a string. Here, so array has a concat function, right? We just talked about it just a few minutes ago. And we said, oh, it's an array. But if we come here, and we used concat. So it still adds string to another string. It still concatenates another string to the original string. So let's imagine it wasn't here. It will just add at the end to the sentence here. And then, since I know it's still string because this was string, this is a string, I did it. Okay, let's split it. And that's why I put return type is array. I know it's too much information for one class, but the purpose of this class is to show you that there is this kind of functions exist. Okay, don't think that you have to know all of them, and if you don't get it, it's okay. Just take some time, practice them. Index of, we already talked about it. These are more complicated ones, so if you guys don't mind, I will leave it for the next class, or you can practice on your own. For each is like a for loop. It will just loop, and uh, it's used for objects for sure. Reverse, it just reverses. It's more straightforward. So let's say we have this sentence, right? Really quick. Let me remove this. So if I say sentence dot reverse, why it's saying sentence again? I don't have to pass anything, I believe. Console dot log. Oops. And this part I'm gonna just remove.
But can we do it to the array, not just a string?
Sentence. Okay, yeah, it should be array actually. Yep. So it should be after split it. So if I put it after split it and uncomment it. So this is our sentence, and it's split it. Oh, this part I don't need anymore. Not to confuse you. What happened?
Comment the new variable there.
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
We don't really need that.
I mean, you need it.
Oh, okay, I'm splitting it. Okay, I thought it's still the same sentence. So it just reverses it. You see? So hello, say tag is a bootcamp, and we added concatenated the end. So it takes the last word and it puts into the beginning. And the bootcamp is a is say tag hello. So this was reverse method. Map, filter, reduce, for sure it should be some separate class, because if I started, it's more complicated and it will confuse not only you and me.
Especially
It
the
will
map
get
one is really
mess. Yeah. Let's see what.
Kushtar, you wanted to show the website for us, which is a vector
Yeah.
game.
So try to do this, guys. Okay. It's for your benefit only. And objects, you can keys and values. Last week we kind of look at it. Keys is for the keys only. I mean, not last week, last class. Values, it just returns the values. Okay, that's it actually. So the website is like, I think learnjs.org. Yeah. So you have to take your time and then try to learn, because here these are the topics you are learning right now: variables, types, arrays, manipulating arrays, loops, objects, functions, and advanced topics. So let's say we are learning arrays. Try to read it and try to run every code. This one using var, but you don't have to really stick to var. It's kind of, I believe, maybe it's old. But this is one website. Another one is, where is it? javascript.info. There is a website called javascript.info. This is really good for documentation, like reading like really deep topics. It's not simple. You have to really, clear your mind and sit to it. It's difficult. It's not an easy one. So arrays, it's like explains a lot of stuff. See? It's just like an initial topic of arrays, initial class for arrays, but it has really good references. If you read it, you will understand a lot about JavaScript. You can run it, by the way, here, and it will show some results. So alert, this is something like a built-in function as well. You don't have to do always console log. Console log, it just shows you in the browser, like or in the environment you are running it, or in the code editor in the bottom. But if you do alert, it will just give you this kind of window, this alert. So whatever the value you pass, this is array, right? So array has apple, orange, and plum. And if you do alert 3 times with different values, it will just give you every time different new value. So usually when you are trying to exit a website, you see the pop-up window, right? Are you sure you want to leave this website? And you say click or cancel. So it can be done with alert. This one is just one. If we go to the next lesson, array methods. Here you go, push and pop. So splice. Okay, here you go. I go home, array one delete, remove the go because one, alert one undefined. Length is 3. So this kind of things like start, delete count, and element. This is also good, but this one, I believe it's even better. JavaScript info. I think these 2 websites are really good. So I don't want to give you more because you will have to stick to one at the beginning. Try to read from here. And if you want to read more, there is more. Yeah.
Can you check the website which I sent to you? I guess it's very useful for all of us.
Oh, roadmap, yeah.
I
know this website.
Yeah, this is, click the front end, for example.
Mhm.
First one, yes. This is what the good thing. You can see everything like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and you can, for example, click to the learning the basics or learn the manipulation for each of them. No, like it is HTML for the JavaScript, for example. Yes. And this is what you said. You can find out the modern JavaScript tutorial. This is actually the same website what you showed right now for us. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. Sometimes
I guess it's very.
Sometimes not. So this is a really good book. Even
This
it's
is like free website where all information together combine it into one website.
Yeah. JavaScript, welcome JavaScript. So don't get overwhelmed with this website, by the way, because it covers like every single topic. So
yeah.
And if you think like, oh, I don't know accessibility or SEO or basics, right? So it's okay if you don't know at the beginning. For example, this one takes only one like reading article. You can just read.
That's why you see the logo, it's gray, not the purple one. And if you go the upper, so it's legend. It says a personal recommendation are they not stripped.
Yeah, anytime you can
look. Yeah, or something in the description.
Yeah. So this one was for front-end developer. You can even, narrow it. I don't know if there is JavaScript only. Let's say you are learning JavaScript only and you want to know everything, or you want to study a specific topic, right? Let's say objects. It will have some articles. You can go javascript.info, yeah. Working with objects, probably same or different. Okay, this is MDN. And object definition, let's see. W3 schools. This is good, really good for HTML and CSS. JavaScript, there is different ones. So basically that's it for today, guys. These are the topics you just have to, practice it with this. And don't, always hesitate, or sometimes you want to learn something, search like this, and don't go to MDN yet maybe, and you can go to videos, or you can go to the Free Code Camp forum. And let me see. It's not showing the website I wanted to show. ES6. So basically, really good one is medium.com. You can always search for any topics, and it will be like only for 5-10 minute reading. So it's really simple and straightforward. And there is also Dev2. This is really a good community. And you can search for topics, you can log in, and you can find any topics. You can find sometimes like discussions, books. Okay. So you did it, objects. Try to do these last two practices, and that's it. So don't don't worry if you didn't understand objects yet. Just take your time, start study it slowly, like piece by piece, because in the future there will be more of the objects and arrays, and you will kind of get it. So this will come later on, and then you will learn it anyway, because for each or map will be used in React. So these are really handy in React. So filter, it's for filtering purposes. Reduce is for also like calculation and accumulation. So I just know, maybe I don't remember the syntax, but I can just look up if I don't remember something. Okay? Any questions
I have a
before we
question.
end? Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question.
Hmm?
I'm a little bit still, I'm a bit confused, but what I want to ask is like, we were talking a lot about like, oh, so this is returns array, this is returns string,
Right.
something else. So
Mhm.
why is it important for us to know what it returns? Is it because like for us to do the further functions, or it's somehow connected with the back end?
No, it's
Because
not
we talked
about.
about parse as well, so I don't know.
Really good question. Like, you're not just, consuming, and you're asking why I need it, right? So return type is important because, let's say, here I have ABC, right? And let's say I have numbers like this. And then let's say I have another value like ABC and 1, 2, 3. So these are not the same. In the memory, it will be stored into different variables. This will be like, let's say, in the location or the storage, right? In the storage, in the memory, it will have a code like this, like some random numbers. It will be the location's number for this code, okay? And this will be another location like this. And this, if you combine them, it will be another one. So it will have some random numbers like this, some location number. So, and let's say from the human perspective, like from the first side, you can say these are the same thing. These are just combined, right? But for programming or for JavaScript, overall for computers, this is not the same thing. So you have to know. So you cannot say ABC, and if I just say plus and add 1, 2, 3, it will have the same code as this one. No, it will have something else completely different. It could be like this, all numbers and then a couple like this. So we have to know the return type. When we say just, I'm gonna use filter function, and I'm gonna pass some strings like this. Okay, this is string, and I want to filter by like str. It's not gonna work because filter might use only arrays. So that's why we have these different functions of converting them into string or from string to array. And return type you have to kind of know, because you can expect one thing, but it doesn't work that way. So you have to know those. So return type is important. Oh, let's say, just forget this part. So you have a really big application and you're running it and you're creating, and then you've been working on this application for so long that you don't remember where it's coming from. Let's say I have an input like this, input, I don't know. Let's say it's coming from, I don't know, Europe, yeah? Let's imagine it's input Europe, and then I have another input like, I don't know, Africa. So this will have two different value for the company, for the business, and you don't want to just combine them, in the database, right? In the database, they will be like tables. I mean, it will be separate sections for like Europe, Africa, Asia, and you don't have to mix it up them. And then you have to remember whatever the function you are creating, when you say function, like my own calculation, let's say, yeah. So we are calculating something, or we are like uh, my own slice, let's say, yeah, this is an example. And then you pass array, you pass string, for example, and you're trying to use slice, but for some reason you might pass also like some random values. And then you have to think, okay, what should I return at the end? So here it's, in this example, you are creating one variable, like a new array. And then your function at the end needs to return some value, right? We were learning about function and methods. So if you say return like a string, it will complain because uh, you are dealing with some array inside, you are using some true here, and at the end, if you just return one string, your code will get confused, or like others won't understand it, because you have to have a meaningful names for the functions. And then like when I read this part, I have to already understand, oh, okay, it needs to be some mixed up value, not only string. So that's why I'm giving you like these examples. You have to know the return type. Uh, I don't have any functions. Let me see if I can just search from here. Functions, yeah. Let's come here. These are alert. So JavaScript is a bit like a confusing language, but in other languages, for example, uh, in Java, when you create a function, you have to start with function type. What does it return? Like, and you say like public, static, and you say string right away, and then you give a name, like my own slice method, and then you expect some parameters like string 1 and string 2. Um, and okay, this function is string already, and it should be only string. You have to deal only with string. But in JavaScript, you don't say that, but it assumes that you will understand the return types, and you have to return specific type only. You cannot return string plus array here. This will be a really big issue if you return something like this.
That's why they
So
call.
And
that's why
and
you
as
have to know for some methods like here. So why do you think this is like all arrays? Because they are expecting you will deal only with array using these functions. So these are array. I don't know if there is, yeah, big integers, for example. These are different numbers. So when we say integers, these are the numbers that we expect. And it has a limit as well. It's not like unlimited. Sorry, I jumped to another topic from here.
okay, but I got
For
the
example,
idea.
Yeah, so for numbers,
Mhm.
it's expecting you to only use numbers. Okay, so it could be mixed
And
up
then
a
for
bit. Maybe my statements will be wrong somewhere, but you know, the assumption will be that you understand the return types and you assume also that, you know, it's only returns only one single type.
and for like you were saying about parse JSON, this is only for like it's something connected to the
Mhm.
reading, sharing the code or something like this, or
So JSON is specific. It's really like important topic as well. JSON is like a format of the data that's coming from different computers. So right now we are speaking in English. So this is one method of communication, right? We understand each other in English, but how computers understand different computers, it's through the JSON format code. So if I just open my screen and let me share again. JSON format example maybe. Yeah, let's see this one. So this is how it comes. But if you see it, it just looks like a JavaScript. And it stands for JavaScript object notation actually. But it's like a little older version. Let me see another example. So this is how data comes from backend from different computers. So it will have a huge object, and it will have a property have another object, this object has another object, and so forth and so forth. This is just an example, one JSON document. And the reason we are learning map, for loop, for in, for off, it's for these purposes. You have to go through this data and find markup, for example. Your task is to find ISO number, and you just go through everything and then find all keys, search for abbreviation, and then find this number. This is also another like function, I mean, JSON format. Sometimes when we, let's say we are searching for a movie, right? Let's say it's a popular movie and we are requesting it through some API, and your data actually could be saved in the server somewhere like this. Like, okay, you are, for example, servers or the computer name is MacBook, and then something like your location is Philadelphia, and then your I don't know, memory of your computer is like, you know, 30 gigabytes, and then all the information will be like in this format. Like this is one array, for example. And once you exit this array, I don't know where is the end of this. Probably it's whole thing is in the array, but inside you can see these different objects. It's opening here and it gets closed here. This is for inner one, this is outer one, yeah. So name. So this is how computers get communication through different APIs, different servers. And our task as the front-end developers is to convert this data as one of these UIs. So you have a button, it should be clickable. But in the backend or in the server, for example, it could be like button run should be green or something like this. I mean, I'm just giving you some random examples. And then our task is to read it and display it in the screen as a really nice website. So if I open like a Google, right? Google services, these are all buttons. These are all coming from server. And but I should be able to click them, and it should take me to some different websites, right? So that's why JSON is important. You will learn it, but it's too early for you to focus on these things. Later on, it will be just part of your learning process. You will learn JavaScript, I mean, not JavaScript, React, and React will already include this API calling handling them, parsing them. Parsing is like not only for numbers. So when we receive this kind of JSON data, we have to parse them to string. There is a function called stringify. We will convert it only to string method or format, and then we can read from there. In other cases, you can just parse it and then just start reading it. You can just loop it, search it, or just start displaying it right away. So look at roadmap website and you will see JSON there as well.
Okay, got it. Thank you.